So Alex has put the map on for us. It's time to run it again on the dyno to see what we've actually achieved.
Yes, welcome back to the channel. I'm on my way on a bit of a epic to Manchester because I'm going to visit BHP UK to finally get my Bmw S1000R tuned. I have 3 hours and 39 minutes remaining. It's going to be a right journey ahead. I got myself prepared yesterday. In fact, I brimmed the tank, literally brimmed it, so it'll be interesting to see how many miles we get out of it. Currently the range is saying 157 miles. I've got my heated grips on level number 3 so my hands are nice and warm, and just enjoying the cruise control, sitting here at a constant 60 because it's a 6. Oh, I'm going actually into a 50 now. Slow down. Da, 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 da. Had a bit of a wheel spin there. Well, currently contending with some mad traffic, and I need some fuel. Got 19 miles remaining, and it's all very slow moving at the moment. I'm doing my best to make progress. Aha! Some much needed jungle juice. Is that what you want? 12 litres. Crazy. I thought it would have taken a lot more than that. Alright, looks like we're here. This is BHP UK. Well, 3 hours and 52 minutes of riding. 54.3 miles per gallon, comfort wise. All good. Better than I thought, but I'll be glad to get off the bike and then see the magic BHP UK can do to my S1000R.
Hi, Cal from BHP UK, and today we've got the absolute pleasure of welcoming Ryan from Bikes of Fry. So you've got this S1000R. Can you tell us what you've done to it so far?
Yeah, so far it's had a full Black Widow exhaust system on it. So headers plus slip-on. So no catalytic converter, a straight through system. But other than that, yeah, pretty much standard.
Right, okay. It's a 22 bike, right?
Yeah.
And as far as the tuning is concerned, what are we looking for?
So I'm looking to extract as much power as I can from this engine. It's got no catalytic converter now, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what it is capable of.
Well, I've already rigged it up to some OBD logging stuff, and shall we get it run up, see what it's doing?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it's saying, really.
On this particular bike, we're going to look at engine temperature, just to make sure the engine's running in temperature and we're not mapping it while it's cold. Engine speed, so we can tally that into the dyno. Injection time, so we know how many milliseconds the injectors are open for. The accelerator sensor, which is how much throttle we're demanding off the TPS, throttle position sensor. The actual opening at the butterfly, because it's fly-by-wire in different modes, you're going to get at 50% throttle. You may get 50% depending on the mode that you're in. At the throttle butterfly, you may not. You may get more, you may get less. On top of that, we're logging injection and spark advance. We'll get it run and just make sure that it is giving us the data and the values that we're expecting, and then we'll go ahead and put a map on it. Well, that's the run's done on the dyno. We actually got it in one run, cool. On one map. Like I said, we have done quite a few of these in the past.
So the rev limit has been?
I've actually taken it to 12.5.
Okay, and that's safe to do so, is it?
Yeah, it's fairly safe at that.
Perfect. Okay, and I noticed actually so I was watching the screen,
Okay.
as you're doing the runs,
Yeah.
and before the map, so you can see the air fuel
Yes.
like feed out, the feed, the graph going up and down.
Yeah.
And before the run, it was in the red a lot of the times, right? And now it just seems pretty much in the green.
Yeah. Yeah. So predominantly, that's the biggest changes that we've got to make. That's really, you know, the lion's share of the work to get the fueling right. At every point now, from sort of like pretty much 1400, 1500 RPM, we've richened it up a little bit. We've richened it more at the lower throttle openings. Wide open throttle is not so bad at the factory, to be honest with you. But the other thing to note is we don't aim for 13.2 everywhere. If you're at 13.2 everywhere, the bike will not run right through traffic and it won't be as responsive as you want it.
The throttle restrictions, were there any and are they gone?
There were, and they're totally programmed out. There's a couple of different ways that they use throttle restrictions. One is just in a map that gives you throttle restrictions. It doesn't let you have 100%, because it's fly-by-wire. What you're doing at with the throttle grip isn't necessarily what you're getting at the throttle butterfly.
It was always my concern when I was riding it. You know, you think, well, am I getting, say, wide open throttle, am I getting full power right now? I know obviously the rider modes might intervene in places, obviously traction control and whatever, but when you turn that all off and you give it full beans, I always just think, am I getting full power? Am I really?
I don't think you are, no. We've got a couple of restrictions in there in the low gears and somewhat wide open throttle lower down. Even in Dynamic Pro, when you wind the throttle on, lower down in the rev range, you're not actually getting 100% throttle. Okay, so what have we managed to achieve? It came to us, I mean, it's a hot day today, isn't it? It's 35 degrees.
It was so, I was stunned how warm it is in there actually. And I just think that must be affecting the results, I guess.
It does a little bit. I mean, we've got some standardization, but it only gives you so much.
Okay.
But obviously we run it on the same day. We started with 162 at the back wheel.
Okay.
162.9. And we're up to 168.9.
Okay.
Good separation from start to finish, but at 25% and 50% is where we've made the biggest gains.
Okay.
50% throttle, we're running it quite substantially richer than it is at when it leaves the factory. You can see there's in the graph here about 9,000 RPM, the little flat spot's gone. We've put 500 RPM on the rev limiter, like we said. It gives you a little bit more rollover. 25% throttle again, that's probably the biggest gain that we've made.
I noticed a lot of hesitation and you know, it is badly fueled, I think.
Yeah, so we've gone a lot richer there, and there's a couple of bits off that we've put advance back in, so we've put a little bit more time advancing. At the factory, when they take the fuel out, it's running leaner, which means they've got to take some advance out. So we put the fuel back in, we put the advance back in. That really helps with your throttle response. Okay. A bit of pre-acceleration enrichment is added in. So as soon as now, I mean, we'll take it out on the road, and we'll have a run up to settle, get a coffee. You can make your own mind up as to how much difference it makes, but it should be a real substantial change.
Okay, look forward to it. And also the cold start.
Cold start, we've got rid of the cold start for you. Got rid of that altogether.
Because riding here this morning, starting up at 6 AM. Not ideal, not with a full system.
Not popular with your neighbours, are you? Interesting though, with the stock cans, we can program the exhaust valve to do what we want it to do. So we can either program it to come open earlier than it would, than it would at standard, or we can program it just to remain open all the time. Should we get the bike gear on and take a run? Grab some lunch.
Let's go.
And then I'm going to leave it to yourself, and you can come back with a review as to how you feel.
Cool. Yeah, no worries. Look forward to it.
How you feel about the bike and what differences we've actually made.
Sounds like I'll have to take it a bit easy.